1, 2, 3, 4. God is my shepherd, I won't be wanting, I won't be wanting. He makes me rest in fields of green by quiet streams. Even though I walk through the valley, death and dying, I will not fear, 'cause you are with me, you're always with me. Shepherd's staff comforts me. You are my peace, presence of enemies. Surely goodness will follow me, follow me in the house of God forever. House of God forever. In the house of God forever. In the house of God forever. In the house of God forever. House of God forever.
Well, Jon, good to see you, man. Thanks so much for taking a little time to sit down with us and talk about songs, man. It's great to have you.
I love you. Love talking about songs.
Well, man, you're an incredible writer, and most people know probably your songs more from Switchfoot, but I love the fact that you're just a prolific writer. You write songs about a lot of different things, and because of your time in the church and your pastor's kid, which we could probably get into all kinds of stuff there. But man, you really have a heart for just telling Scripture and telling it in a relevant, in a fresh way. And man, this song is a great example of that. A song called "House of God Forever." And man, it feels like this song really feels like a timeless hymn. When I listen to this, it's like, man, this could have been written yesterday. It could have been written, 30 years ago. It just has that kind of that timeless element to it. But talk about this, man. It's based out of Psalm 23, which, man, it's just so powerful. Like that psalm is just so much comfort for people for thousands of years all over the world. It's just been a comfort. I love the fact that, and this song is still like really vibrant in the church. And I think that's a lot of the reason is, people, they want to sing that Scripture at different times, different events, different seasons of life. And man, you've put just, wonderful melody to that timeless truth in those words. So, but talk about the song a little bit and just the adapting of it and just maybe like the new things that you added around it.
Yeah. So I'm reminded of my grandfather's funeral, which just happened, and my daughter recited this psalm, and she had it almost memorized, and she just from the song, and this was one of my grandfather's favorite psalms, and that was obviously one of my favorite psalms as well. I feel like this particular passage has such weight because it dives into so many different places. It is a celebration, but it is not unaware of death. It is not unaware of darkness. It's not unaware of enemies. And yet it is incredibly hopeful. It is full of light and this amazing imagery of this good shepherd. And so when I wrote the song, I felt like it was intact and complete. I didn't feel like I wanted to add anything to it. So that's the way I left it, was second verse, same as the first, And I invited my sister-in-law to sing the second half with me, Sarah Mason. And yeah, I love the way it came out because it's just super beautiful, simple. And that's some of my favorite worship songs don't have anything on them. It's just an acoustic guitar and somebody singing, the truth.
Yeah, for sure. And, I love the fact, this psalm, you're right, like this covers just the gamut of emotion and struggle. I mean, it's really kind of humanity, like wrapped up in a few verses there of, and, the how this thing ends with, but I will live in the house of God forever, is just, that's the hope, as so many Psalms are that way, they start off and there's a lament piece and, there's just all these, pointing out all the things and the struggles and the bad things that are happening or whatever. And then at some point during those Psalms, there's a shift and it begins to give God praise and give God glory, that he's going to overcome all these things. And so you're right, man, like the honesty in this and just giving a context and a melody to be able to take that Scripture into church. I think that's probably been, just the appeal for it is that, we want to sing these timeless truths. We want to teach these to our kids, like you said, and also, for any believer, and we want to be able to remind ourselves of those truths and to be able to bring this, into a church service and be able to sing those truths in a beautiful way. And I love the fact that it's, you've got a lot of, original worship choruses were that way. You had like, one verse and a chorus and you repeated it. And, this is also, it's great to have a male front and a female second, it just feels like worship team. That's what I would do in church. You'd have somebody take the second verse.
Yeah. I do this song live. And I usually just bring up anyone from the audience who knows it, and that's been a beautiful thing we've done it all over, certainly there have been a few churches that we've played it in, but also, clubs and bars and theaters and anywhere, I feel like a song like this brings about a presence into the room where,
wow.
And it is that idea of hearing someone else sing the second half, the idea of corporate worship, the idea of where two or more are gathered. It feels like you are bringing about something bigger than just one voice singing, So yeah, I love that as well.
Man, that's really powerful. That thought. I mean, talk about that a little bit. I mean, this is a psalm that, even if you don't have a church background, you've probably heard this scripture before, just because it's so common. I mean, you'll see it on post, sympathy cards, and it's just well known in our culture. And man, think about that at a Switchfoot show, or just being able to, all of a sudden you go into this song, you begin to sing it, and there's people in the room that are being impacted, and these thoughts and these words that they've probably seen before and don't really understand or didn't understand at the time. All of a sudden they're caught up in something that's happening in the space. Man, talk about that and just a little bit of that experience of taking this song into those places.
Yeah, I think I was reading a quote by Meister Eckhart today about the idea that the earth is the Lord's and all that's in it. That I can't remember his exact take on that, but that the ground that I stand on is the Lord's. The Lord's ground is the ground that I stand on. And I feel like for me, that's often easy to forget and gets marginalized and trivialized, where you walk into a room with 40 other people and it's sometimes really hard to feel the presence of the one who loves you, who made you. And I think the beauty of music is sometimes for me to be able to have a microphone and sing whatever song I want on stage, it changes the atmosphere of the room, and to sing a hymn or this song or something like this, you are uttering timeless truths, and you are, it changes the spirit of the room, the vibe of the room. I don't know how you say it, but you usher in a presence, where I feel like you're inviting God in, that you're opening the doors and the windows of the soul to a larger perspective than just me, which is often the lowest common denominator that we fall to, So this is absolutely a song that I've seen that happen with.
Wow, man, that's so cool. It gives me chills to think about all of those spaces, man. Well, Jon, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts behind this song, man. We're super excited to just talk about this song again. It's still super relevant and being sung by churches, and it's just great to be able to give it, a little bit of a fresh light and thoughts behind it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Your shepherd's staff, it comforts me. You are my feet.